Nosphera, does this word not sound like the death bird culling the living dead at dawn? It is the name both ghouls and demons dare not say, for they know it means death for the undead.
Dean Cain, American heartthrob, Superman to millions. He's patriotic, smart, kind, and very generous. Maybe too generous. He's recently made friends with Gabe El-Taib, co-creator of the amazing new comic, Truth, Justice, American Way. Dean has put his full-throated support behind this book. Or has he? Okay, this is the last thing, and I will get you the heck out of here. Do you think people should buy right now? Should they click the link and buy Truth, Justice, American Way? And why is it the greatest comic book ever? Why do you think that?
Well, they should buy it for sure, without a doubt. Right now, click it, go. I'm going to do it after this is over. So if I did it now, I think weird things would happen. And they should do it because Gabe is a big man and he physically threatened me. If I didn't say this,
that's right,
that he was going to choke me out and teach me what truth, justice, and the American way is all about. So I can't wait to see it. I love it that it's counterculture, and it's counterculture just being patriotic and standing for all the things that I stand for. I can't wait.
Okay, well, thank you so much. So what's the truth about Gabe El-Taib? Madman, artist, poet, gentle lover? It doesn't matter. Buy the book or Dean Cain gets it.
You're muted.
It's good because I was swearing. It was just a litany, a blue streak. Welcome to Double Impact. It is June 1st. My microphone is now on. I had it off because I was fooling around with another webpage. But that won't be the first or the last time I do that, guys. But anyway, it is the highlight of the CG week. It's Double Impact with my good friend, Shantan Jetty. We're going to get our asses to Mars tonight. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing fine. My vote is for gentle lover.
Okay. Why can't I be all of it?
Exactly. But
I don't want to be a madman.
We can emphasize it. I'm just saying we should emphasize it. Yeah, I also had my mic muted. I was doing a thing for my OnlyFans, Brown Sugar. Don't worry about it. You don't have to go there. But
Brown Sugar. That's very close to mine.
Absolutely.
Mine was Chocolate Thunder, you know.
My gosh. It's great to see you guys, man. It's great to see you guys in the chat.
Stephen Rockwood is mad at you for telling me I was muted. You should have let me do with Shane Davis. He did like 15 minutes once or something muted, which is amazing. Getting roasted. I think I'm going on a show with Scottsley tomorrow.
Nice.
I think he's going to have me on his Discord for his group, so that's exciting. And then confirmed to be Doomsday, I guess, because I'm going to squish Dean Cain eventually.
That's right.
So, when I went out to dinner with him about a month ago, he showed me a video on his phone where he got tased because, as you know, he's a volunteer police officer in Idaho, and he's a sheriff's deputy in Virginia. So I guess in Idaho or one of the places he was trained, they tased him. And it was humiliating, but he was a good sport to show us the crazy video. But then he looked at me like a man very hungry. And he said, you'd be really bad if you got tased because the more muscle mass you have, the more it hurts. And he sounded very thrilled telling me this information. So he did let me know he does want to eventually tase me.
So what he's saying is I would basically walk through tasers. They're like, it doesn't appear to have any.
You ever see that meme where the guy's outdoors and he's smoking and they're tasting him and it doesn't work? He's all, I'm gonna get your ass, is what he tells the cop or something like that. So
you're cooking the Slim Jims in my pocket.
You know what's weird? I don't like Slim Jims. I don't have them at my house. But when I go on a road trip, I love them from the gas station. I don't know what that is. You know, I was just in Vegas. I got home yesterday afternoon, and I had a giant Slim Jim on the way home, and it was good.
Right.
But I feel like if I cross the threshold, like bringing my bride across the threshold of the front door of my house, if I brought that same Slim Jim across, it wouldn't be good in my house. I wonder what that's about.
You can't go back. Yeah, you can't look at it the same way. It's, you know, it'll change your life.
Yes. Oh, Timmy Mello, one of the greats. He's always here. Can't go to Mars. Martians have already adopted SJW culture thanks to a lost television channel. Like, damn it.
Timmy, I had no idea. Okay. No idea.
Anyway, what's the haps? I heard you crossed 25,000. You got a trading card coming for Nosferatu.
Yes, we crossed 25K, and the 25K is we're adding 2 trading cards. So people who back Nosferatu now are going to get a print that's a bonus print, a bookmark, and they're also going to be getting 2 trading cards. And like a fool, that's right, baby.
I had a green Tabasco Slim Jim on the way home yesterday. This that's man, right. By the way, Missouri Johnson. That is a badass name from like a Chuck Dixon novel or something.
Look at his icon, man. That's perfect. You know, it's
bravo, Missouri Johnson. I love that name. Tabasco Slim Jims are indeed good on the road, not in my house, but on the road.
That's actually my name is Tabasco Slim Jim.
So Chocolate Thunder and Tabasco
Slim Jim.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
So trading cards, you're going to paint.
Yeah, trading cards. We hit 25K. We've been the YouTube channel has been monetized, so now people can send super chats and all that other great stuff and super stickers. Awesome. It's been unbelievable. It's been a crazy, week and a half, of just nonstop, stuff going on streams. The streams are hitting, bigger numbers and everything like that. And it's, I feel like there has been a turning of the tide marked by today as well. One of the many things. There's been a turning of the tide of people, a
turning of the tide.
Yeah, you could say it right. Of people kind of saying, what the heck is going on? Hail Angela Curry and Scottsley and Missouri Johnson and Timmy Mello and all Stephen Rockwood drawing, all you fine people, by the way. Just saw Angela Curry pop in. But it was really interesting because I have not seen, nor will there be spoilers tonight, so don't worry, guys. I have not seen Top Gun Maverick, although we're working out the logistics of that. And
I won't spoil it. One of the best movies, not that I've seen in a while, that I've ever seen. And I don't know if you've been reading online. The consensus is out there. People love this movie. This is a good movie. And I don't know, I don't want to spoil it for you. Oh my gosh.
What Nicky Rackett said, what Nick Rekieta said that I loved is he said something that was beautiful, that it opened up, and this is not a spoiler, but that it opened up with Tom Cruise and a message from Tom Cruise saying that we made this movie for you guys. We're coming back to this or blah, blah, when he saw it.
Yeah, no, it opened up with him in like a leather, bookcase, leather chair. Like it must be his nice home office or something. And he's just like, I'll paraphrase. Thank you so much for coming to the movies. We work hard to make this for you, thrilling stunts and photography, and everyone brought their A game. And thank you for coming out to the theaters. And it was, I mean, I know he's an actor, so he could fake anything, but it seemed very genuine from the heart. I was talking to my wife about him, and he said, he seems like such a squared away dude, Tom Cruise. I know people give him crap about the Oprah couch or whatever. I don't. But I really admire him because, and my wife said it before I could name who it was. She said he's like the Tom Brady of movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Tom Brady, for those of you that don't know, he's NFL quarterback. He's like 44 and he's still at the top of the league because he's so disciplined, diet, exercise, studying the playbook. And Tom Cruise strikes me the same way. A 40-year career in Hollywood, and he doesn't put out duds, and he doesn't seem, as far as I know, he doesn't seem to get arrested and drugs.
It's the Zab Judah quote, right? It's the Zab Judah quote. It's the Zab Judah quote about Floyd Mayweather when they said, "What's the secret to Floyd's success?" And Zab Judah looked over at the interviewer and went, "He trains like he's broke."
Right. Right.
And that's it. You know, like guys, the grind is real. You know, where we were talking about this the other day. It's like whatever is going on online, which he's going to be experiencing. Tom Cruise is always going to experience what people are saying in the press, what people are saying, you know, about a person. The reality is that when you are what ultimately keeps you sane is what happens at the desk, what happens with the family, what happens, you know, whatever in your spiritual life. And it's interesting because when it comes to Tom Cruise, whatever, you know, we're all aware of his belief system. We're all aware of all that stuff. It's out there, right? But what the audiences have seen from him is he cares and he shows up. So
right,
it really doesn't matter to us, right? Like you might, if somebody is a wonderful person and does everything you quote unquote think is right, thinks everything you think is right, and then they show up and randomly punch you in the face, it really ain't going to matter much about what they say and do in private. But when people are meeting him at his point of performance, where he's doing his profession, the audience has built such trust in him that he's able to, like, people go, why is he making all these Mission Impossible movies? I'm sure it's to keep his crew paid. I am certain that is the kind of person he is. That's what it seems like. Right. He seems to care about all of the people who are, you know, not the stars, all the people who work under that, you know?
Yeah, I mean that comes through. You never know. We don't know these people personally. Randy McRanderson, Tom Cruise is literally a crazy person who was high up in a cult, squared away for some value of away. I don't know the end of that sentence, but as far as his religious stuff, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I don't know nothing about that church. I know they have a lot of bad press, but I'm just talking as a professional, as an artist. His craft as an actor and everything he does with movies, completely squared away on that. Maybe there's some funny church stuff. If you ever want to know if the news is fake news, and I'm not trying to argue with you, Random. I'm just saying this. If you want to know if the news is fake, like let's say that he's crazy church guy, that's what they say in the news. Have some news written about you. I've been interviewed. I've had articles written about me. I've had multiple times, and it's always wrong. It's uncanny. Yeah. I didn't know that until the news started to be about me sometimes. And I heard Adam Carolla say it years ago that if you wanted to know if the news was fake, just get some articles and interviews done. And it's insane how the news people, the journalists, the reporters, and the newspaper writers, it's a story. So they don't tell the truth. They put their spin on it. They hear what they want to hear, and everyone has biases. So, you know, I believe half of what I hear about this stuff. Like, who really knows? I know what they've said about me in the press, and it's not good and bad. And I think, well, that's not what I told them in the interview. So, exactly. I don't know. But as far as the craft of acting, he's tops to me. Like, holy cow, you always know what you're going to get. I think it's amazing. So.
We've got a great comment there. I loved the prequel to this movie, Partial Recall. I was the star of Partial Recall, in case anybody is wondering. You know, anybody is wondering. But it's this is the thing. What we're talking about here, right? Is that the difference between us and all the other, you know, stuff that goes on is that we appreciate that point of performance, and we appreciate like where people do those things. And, you know, I've watched certain documentaries on certain things, you know, not here to weigh in on that. You know, per se, I mean, like to me, it's not like it's I don't have complicated feelings about it. My feelings are quite simple about it, really. Right. But the whole aspect of this thing is there's this bigger issue here, which is what we cover and what we focus on is in many ways the entertainment industry. And the aspect of contempt for audience is a major one. And when you look at movies like Total Recall, they seem like they're from a different era. They're so creative. They're so filled with imagination. So many different kinds of, you know, different people work on these films to make them happen. And it's almost like, I mean, just that, for heaven's sake, just that image, which I think was done for like a Mondo Blu-ray release, because you can see this
wasn't around back in the 90s when it originally came out.
So good.
Yeah, I was. My daughter sent me a bunch of images. She always does, many, and then I went and found a few more, and I stumbled across this one. And as someone that's colored a lot of comic books, I'm in love with the colors on this. Yeah, you know, it's so rock solid, and the composition and everything. So
Sharon Stone, man. Can we listen? If we could talk just for a second, because I'm always trying to understand this. Okay, even though I know this took place in the future,
Right.
can we talk about, for just a moment, women's 80s swimsuits and workout clothes and what exactly was happening? Because at the time, I remember seeing this stuff and thinking, oh, yeah. And now I look at this stuff and go, how is that even supposed to work? And sadly, now I draw things like this that no one can figure out how they're supposed to work, but that's not the point here.
Right.
I'm like, what the heck? And you look at all of the quintessential 80s-ish things and the 80s visions of the future in this, and it's fascinating to me.
There's a thing that wasn't art before the culture, the SJW culture, the cancel culture. And we don't want to get too negative, but we need to address it. You put it so well a few months ago. You told me it was a culture of resentment.
Yes, it is.
And to me, that's based on, if even one step deeper, it's a culture of narcissism, because that's where resentment would come from. Why do you have that and I don't? It's like, well, I worked for it.
Sure.
That's why I have it. And when you're a narcissist, you're insecure. Even though they're arrogant, they think they're God, they actually don't. They're actually completely insecure, and they built up this fake image to soothe the pain of feeling insecure. When you are insecure, you can't make bold, wacky, crazy 80s style art or stories. Because when you put the paintbrush to the canvas, you're not what is beautiful and fun. That's not what you think. You think, what will they all say? That's what you think when you make art. Hence the virtue signal. Hence the diversity and all the crap they do. Hence the crappy designs. They're afraid to go crazy and get told, that's wrong, that's bad. And they should go crazy. Go all the way. Go too far and then come back. But they go just a little bit, and it's not brave or bold art. It's meaningless. It's forgettable, and it doesn't say anything. Someone in the comments said they saw the new one, and here, Simply Green, especially when you compare it to the new one, which struck me as corporate aesthetic. I didn't even bother seeing the new one. This one is so good, and it's got our boy directing it, Verhoeven. We've already done Starship Troopers and RoboCop, and his aesthetic is outrageous.
It is
so good. It's so that thing where he's brave. It's not narcissistic artwork where what will they say about me? It's like, I think this is cool, and if you don't like it, too bad, because I think it's cool. I think there's a boldness to the art in the old days.
I think that this is the interesting thing, right? There's caution from experience, which is a very different thing than caution from fear of having an experience, which is anxiety. And so many people are warned about bullying, in previous generations. They were saying, worried about bullying. Don't turn out to be a bully. Don't turn out to be this evil thing and have these wrong opinions. But they never actually tried having those opinions and seeing that you can have different, like, I'm surprised I see people that try to talk about, my experience has been the more difficult times that you go through and the more stuff you overcome, the stronger you get. And also the less afraid you get, the more competent, the more able you are to do things. And what it was in the 80s that was kind of interesting is nobody was waiting around asking for permission to do these things. They were just doing them. They were just making them. Like, yes, they needed budgets. They needed all that stuff. But there is no way somebody watched the toxic waste scene from RoboCop or almost every scene in this movie, for example, and was like, yes, we approve that for the masses. Do you know what I mean? They were just like dealing with the talent begrudgingly as they went and did their crazy stuff.
It's over the top. And the thing about action and pulp and all this stuff is it's supposed to be more real than real. It's supposed to be like WWE wrestling. That's not real fighting. That's insane fighting. If you hit someone with a steel chair a few times, you could kill them. You could give them pretty bad brain damage, but it's supposed to be crazy to get the point across. It's like poetic. So when you have the toxic waste scene in RoboCop and the guy gets blown apart, it's not about it being literal. It's about the chaos. You know what I mean? It's about conveying that emotion. So, and I think we're really missing that in artwork today. We're really missing a sincerity, a vulnerability. We're like, I'm going to do this thing. You might all laugh at me. I'm going to do it anyway. And I just can't respect corporate, boring, cookie cutter art that plays it safe. I just can't respect it. Art is a holy endeavor. God gifts us with this ability to create like him, not truly create, but you know what I mean? Play act at it. And we can use it for such good to lift people up and inspire them and, let them have a good time and be relaxed and stuff. And if you don't go all the way and do your absolute best, you're shortchanging everyone, including yourself and especially the audience.
Yeah, and I would agree with some of the stuff that I'm reading in the chat here, which is that you're right. There is actually always good stuff in every era, but every era has its own particularly neat kind of quirkiness. You know what I mean? For
Right.
how its pop culture manifests. So things like Total Recall, things like movies like The Thing, frankly, movies that are associated with the special effects work of Rob Bottin. You know, you were watching a special effects artist who was at the top of his game, and directors were giving him the money and the resources and the time to create stuff. And so that's what I guess we mean. I would say it was like the heyday of practical effects. Now you get into the 90s, and starting with 1993, I believe it is, you get Jurassic Park.
Right.
You know, and you get, I hope I'm not wrong on that year, by the way, guys. I apologize if I am. But
I'm
you get
pretty
Jurassic
sure
Park.
you're right.
And there's Stan Winston stuff was all over that movie. So there was tons of practical. I know he was hurt for the lack of attention in it. But it became a different aesthetic by the time you got further into that time period. And now we're kind of in an interesting time period where we've explored the technology in a lot of different directions. But the real issue has become, what is there to talk about? Like, we're stuck talking about the tech and talking about the it's almost, again, it's creativity does not happen by committee, and that's pretty much what it is. Arnold Schwarzenegger, let's be clear. The reason this, and I see people talking about John Wick in here, not ambiguously, which I can appreciate, is that, and thank you for looking that up. I appreciate it. Is that John Wick movies exist because if you cast Keanu Reeves in a movie, it is guaranteed to make back X amount of dollars.
Sure.
And that also brings us to Total Recall. When you have a star who can pick what they appear in, and that star, Arnold Schwarzenegger in this case, can get a movie greenlit and guarantee its box office, then the director gets more freedom. So actors are always using, what they have. They could use it for anything. Like Tom Cruise could use his movie star status to, make something that the Academy would love, right? They'd love it. Not a lot of people would see it. But instead, he makes a movie that is a patriotic film about, using real aircraft and all the things he's passionate about. And his stardom allows for it to happen,
Yeah. I like this comment here because it's tangentially related. I think theism, particularly theist philosophy, is due a renaissance. I do think that. I think our culture with postmodernism the last 100 years and really hitting a boil in the last 40 has just rejected God completely from our lives, our culture completely, just pretending that no one believes that. And I think it shows. I think it shows in a lot of the artwork and a lot of the culture we're creating. So I do think the pendulum always typically swings culturally. So I think we will return to that, I think, because I think look at the headlines today in the court case, right, where the Me Too has just got destroyed in court, right? Weaponizing accusations to be sexist against men, because that's what Me Too is.
Yeah.
It got savage today, and that's good. And that's a good sign that the pendulum is swinging back. So I look forward to it. It'll be nice if we could have that sort of art where the artists and the writers and the actors, they're not concerned with, well, how will it look if I do this? They just do it because they believe in their skill with conviction that they know how to make the art. So I think it's going to be awesome.
Hulk smash, I got to say, makes me wish I had 3 arms. But I want to also say, say this. Is that 3 hands? Which, by the way, if I recall correctly, it's the guy who actually turns out to have this unbelievably wild hand. But the thing I always say, looking at this movie, is, and this is what's really cool. You talk about nature versus nurture. You talk about all of these things. The interesting question this movie poses is, if your memory were wiped and you were put into the same situation but on a different side of it, could you and you saw yourself as, frankly, completely opposed to the beliefs that you had when you were inside of a system, would your new self that was based on your nature plus circumstances, is it possible for you to change and redeem yourself when you're living this kind of parasitic existence, trying to hide the secret from people? And that's powerful. That's a really powerful story. Like, I think about that all the time. Like, this is you telling yourself that you want your body back and you have a whole life. And this other person is saying, I don't want to be this person. There's a whole, like, that just does my head in.
We'll get into just a brief story synopsis for those of you that don't know. But if you haven't seen this, I'm sure it's on Amazon Prime or somewhere. You can usually rent movies there for $3, $4. It's a great sci-fi movie. But Always got to honor the generosity of Random McRanderson and all people who pledge super chats. Thank you so much. I love it. I'm so glad you're here. You guys are the best chat in the world, man. You've given Shant and I and all the CG artists our lives back as artists, guys. Right. The fact that you support us financially, you come out here and you make awesome, insightful comments, and you make the chat so much fun. You know, let me just read this, and then I'll keep kissing your butts. Hold on. Total Recall had ideas, special effects. The story had gravitas, corporate control planets, memory tech, etc. And sci-fi bent that Wick doesn't have. Wick is pastiche compared to Total Recall. Have a Slim Jim on me. Thank you for $10 Canadian. So much, Random McRanderson. Yeah, but I'm saying it's the Shant and I were talking before the show about being humbled by the just the generosity and the goodwill of people. You know what I mean? And certain things in our backgrounds, and I won't speak for you too much, Shant, of learning to accept that people want you to succeed and people want to help you out of goodwill. They don't have strings attached. They're not trying to pull a fast one. And strangers on the internet who are becoming my friends, many of you, you care. You want me to do good. And that's amazing to me. You know, I think that's one of the most transformative things that's happened to me since I've really gone whole hog into CG. I couldn't be more grateful. You can ask my wife how happy I am working on this stuff all day long. I had an amazing day today inking Beef Law, my Van Damme martial arts movie that I'm doing. You know, working on a page of it. You know, finish these inks up. You know, as I'm inking this, I'm like, why did I set this thing in Hong Kong? Now I have to draw all kinds of buildings and neon signs, but I'm having fun. So and that's you guys doing that. You guys are patrons of the arts, I guess. It's amazing. So
yeah.
Thank you.
Without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. And you know, that's the cool thing about, you know, we talk about Beef Law. Yeah, people love Beef Law. Yeah, exactly. Well, we appreciate it, and I guarantee you we are. And this is the thing too. Yeah. Well, do you think Quado died a virgin? Let me say this to you guys.
Poor Quado. He scared the crap out of me as a kid because I think I was 12 when I saw this, and I didn't like that scene. We need to tell people the plot really quick.
Blair, you do it. You jump in with the plot because I got a Quado story.
Okay,
so go ahead.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger is Doug Quaid, and he's just like a construction worker. He's it's in the future, like 2084, I think it is, and he's walking by and he sees an ad for Total Recall. They'll give you a vacation to wherever you want to go, but it's all in your mind. It's like the Matrix kind of. They plug you into this big computer chair, and it's like, hey, do you want to be a sports star or a playboy or a millionaire or whatever, or a secret agent? They have all these scripted memories they'll just give you, and it really feels like it really happened. It just totally fools your mind. So he chooses secret agent. When they plug him in and going to send him on his vacation, his mental vacation, he starts freaking out about his cover being blown and this and that and the other. So something's going on weird. The whole secret agent thing triggers his mind into some chaos. So they're like, oh geez, this is terrible. So they just throw him in a cab and throw him out of the office. And the cab is great. It's like a Wally cab. It's got this robotic driver, and he's like, I gotta go home. And then he's getting stalked by his own buddies that he like works construction with. They try to beat him up or kill him or whatever. He beats them up. He gets away. He goes home to talk to his wife. I hope I have these in order. Sharon Stone, and he tells her what's going on. Sharon Stone was doing all right in 1990.
So let's say this. Yes. Look, I know. Let me just say this, guys, and I want to say this especially to any ladies we have in the chat, and I want to apologize for this, or not even apologize for this. You should thank me for this, okay? And I agree with you. I got 10 kids to feed. Let me tell you something, Benny. Listen, Benny was misunderstood. But this is the thing. If you want to know what guys who grew up in the 80s thought women were going to be wearing all the time, watch these movies.
Right.
I swear to you, I said to my wife one time, I go, you know, you do realize that like in every movie, the wife is wearing to bed a silk like negligee, like layered thing and lingerie. Like we did not realize you guys slept in regular pajamas. We just thought you guys were kind of like in these insane, your hair was blown out.
Right. Like, makeup is done.
Makeup is done.
Yeah. You're not like, the white cream on the face and the hair pulled back in some t-shirt from Walmart.
We had no idea. And it's one of the glorious things about guys. We will believe what we're told by our movies. It is absolutely no. So listen, Jordan Horst is like, listen, some women do. And Jordan, of course, next time you type that, I want you to put hashtag living my best life.
There you go.
Because I think that's the best. But no, but Sharon Stone was in this role. One of the things that's so great about her is
look at this. You're making Danky Frankie stay a bachelor forever now. You've shattered all illusions for him.
Let me tell you something, Danky Frankie. If you think you don't want to get married now, wait till we get to the Sharon Stone plot twist. But anyway, keep on going.
Okay, so anyways, he tells his wife about all this weird stuff, and then she attacks him. And they have this fight scene in the house, and it's really crazy. And then he goes on the run, and when he's going on the run from the main bad guy, like the henchman, what's it, Richter? What's his name?
Mm-hmm. Oh, for heaven's sake! No, we got it. Go.
He's running through the town, ends up on a construction site, and he finds this briefcase thing, and in it is a video, and it's him in the video. And he's talking to himself, and he's telling himself that I'm you, you're me, and I'm really Carl Hauser, I think. And Carl Hauser's like this, actual super spy and all this stuff. And he tells him, you got to get your ass to Mars to stop. It was Cohagen and Richter, right? They were the main bad guys. You got to get up there because they're doing all this bad stuff on Mars. So he goes to Mars, and it's got this great scene where he's wearing this disguise. You remember this? And they're asking him, how long are you going to? This is like customs when he gets to Mars. How long are you going to be on Mars? And he only programmed this thing, I guess, to say 2 weeks. And that's all it can say. So they ask him these different questions, keep going, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. And then eventually he pulls the head off. It's a great shot, too. It's a really great shot. He pulls the head off, throws it at the guards, and it blows up because it's a bomb because it's a movie made in 1990. That's why. Of course, the fake head you're wearing isn't explosive because that sounds safe, right? So
I just like that. Can I just do real quickly? I just love the part where she says, "Get ready for a surprise." I was like, "What the hell is
That's right.
And I wanted to say, by the way, where was this vocabulary range when you were supposed to answer 2 weeks, robot head?
All right.
Like you got this great flourish, once the gig is up. I don't know.
Look at this is great by Timmy Mello. 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
Well, she sure did. She flattened the atmospheric pressurization in there. I'll tell you that, man. My God.
My gosh. Lee Weeks, great artist. It was a bomb because he needed a bomb. Simple as that. Right.
Exactly.
And that's that carefreeness in the art that I'm talking about, where you're not worried about, that, what will they say if I write the story this way? It's like, it's just supposed to be fun. Just don't overthink it. This is fun. I never really ran into that until I got into comics professionally, the overanalyzation of entertainment media. I remember sitting in the back at Wildstorm talking to some of the guys, and Avatar had just come out, and they were just tearing it to shreds down to like the granular level. And I told them, I approach a lot of this stuff like a bag of Cheetos. It's fun while I have it, and then I don't think about Cheetos the rest of the day.
Sorry, I got that wrong. I was like, I think about this like a bag of Cheetos. It's fun while I have it, and then I just cry the rest of the day. It's empty, and I try to get the crumbs off my shirt, but there's never enough.
I didn't mean family size.
Okay, that's right.
So anyway, when he's on Mars, I don't remember the order that. Oh, that's when he's pulling out a tracker that was in his head. By the way, this is before he goes to Mars. But yeah, he's talking to that briefcase. He has a video of him telling him, "Oh, I'm really a secret agent named Hauser, and they're tracking you with this thing that showed up your nose. When you hear a crunch, you've gone far enough." So he sticks this thing up his nose, and this is like a prosthetic head or something. It's kind of a weird shot, but it's still there's still a charm to it. I think you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Was this Stan Winston on all this, Sean? Do you know?
I feel like it was Rob Bottin. I don't know why, but I think it was just because he always worked with Verhoeven. I could be wrong. I will tell you this, guys. It is Angela Curry. Are you talking about what we thought women would wear to bed, or the nasal thing? Because it could be both.
Both.
Yeah. So I had a young resident try to burn one of my. I had a bloody nose frequently. Try to burn one of the vessels closed, and he got everything right except for giving me anesthesia. And so whenever I see that scene and I see that thing, I go, "Oh man, I feel that nose pain, guys." Like that is, oh man. If
you're making me clench up. Oh, I went to the dentist once, and I had a very shallow cavity on the side of my tooth. I guess they call it a buccal side of your tooth. I don't know. Yeah. And the dentist told me, "It's very shallow. You probably don't need to be numbed up for me to grow this."
Sorry. Keep going.
That lasted for about 2 minutes. I'm like, you know what? I need the shot. Yeah.
Yep.
So getting a drill into a tooth that isn't numb, that didn't feel good at all.
Let me say this, guys. I will tell you this. I'm sorry, this is turning into the Billy Crystal, guys. I hate when that happened. Like it's going into that SNL skit. But let me tell you this, man. I've had teeth pulled where I feel like that thing was so deep, one of my toes got shorter when they pulled it out. Like it's what it is. Yeah, Arnold's nostrils makes it look more painful. Yeah, they had that. This is the thing that was interesting about 80s movies. They did, and they do it pretty well. They did a decent job with certain flicks, but they made it painful the way that you are going to get to deal with this problem.
No.
You've got a tracker in your head. They never made it easy. It was never like going,
the tracker wasn't like in his thumb embedded under a little bit of skin or something,
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
Oh, no. Oof. Oh, no. Oh, I'll have to tell a root canal story. It's a good story, though. Please don't go away.
Don't run. Total Recall / dental horror stories. I love us, man. It's the best.
He has a super high resistance to dental anesthetics. Even afterwards, they start drilling. They say, "Can you feel that?" And the answer is often yes. Needs more freezing. Oh, sorry, friend. I've had 2 root canals on molars. Didn't hurt at all. Went really fast. But what did hurt was the giant needle is sticking to the bone of the palate at the top of your mouth next to the molar to numb that. That felt like they were sticking a pencil lead into the top of my mouth and trying to break it.
Are you still with us, Angela? No, I'm kidding.
It hurt so bad, and I just sat there in the chair thinking, this is what you get for not brushing your teeth right. That's all I told myself. So, yeah.
Let's
get away from this. We're terrified.
Yeah, we will. We shall. So anyway, after he removes the tracking device from his head,
yes,
this is where we get into rat violence. A rat eats the tracker, and then everybody shows up. And let me tell you guys something, okay?
Oh, that's right.
Nobody runs out of. I'm like trying to think of what we can say that won't get us totally struck on things. Whatever the clips were that held the projectile type thingies in these movies, they never ran out, and the amount of squibs they put into what they were hitting was somewhat unrealistic but exciting from that standpoint. It was they would shoot a marshmallow and the marshmallow would explode like that gas in it.
It would have guts.
What the hell is happening?
Oh, goodness.
Oh my God.
I feel like we've touched a nerve here, pun intended.
We have. Everybody's getting it out. Everybody's like going, I'm here to talk, guys. Yeah.
How great is Mac tonight, by the way? I love that character. I don't know why I love that character when I saw him in 3rd grade.
Heck yeah, man. I love it. Yeah, McDonald's selling me on McDonald's is not that hard. It's like shooting fish in a barrel.
That's the thing with you. Wait a minute. Super chat from Hunch the Dirty Roofer, who gave me the cash to go buy Starship Troopers, the audiobook. That is so good. I love the movie. I rewatched the movie after I listened to the book last week. Run, don't walk, and go get Starship Troopers. That should be required reading for children, by the way, growing up. Yep. It has such a great sensibility in it, that book. I loved it. The only thing I didn't like is it was only 9 hours long. So I finished it just like in 2 days of listening to it. I was hoping it would be, very, very long, but it was 9 hours of excellence. By the way, on Apple Books, I downloaded the audiobook of the complete Conan the Barbarian by Robert Howard.
Boom.
Guess how much it cost for 31 hours of Conan? 99 cents.
Dang, I love it.
So I started listening to that today. Dan Lawless suggested that to me. So, Punch the Dirty Roofer for $5. Thank you. Very generous. Thank you very much. If you want to buy off a real secret agent, check out Hunting the Jackal, the story of Billy Waugh, 50-plus career in Spec Ops and CIA, 7 years old in Afghanistan. Wow. That sounds really cool. Let me take a screenshot of that so I can check later, because you did me right on Starship Troopers, so I will check this out. Thank you for the $5, Hunch the Dirty Roofer.
Much love.
Right. So anyways, he gets to Mars, and then he has to go around like gathering information and meeting people there, and he's getting on the trail, or something weird is going on. And I don't know if I'm getting this part in order or not, but because I don't know if he goes to where the mutants live first, or he talks to this guy, the guy that trusts him. Take this pill and you'll wake up from the dream. None of this is real. There isn't really bad stuff going on Mars. There's not oppression. And basically what's going on in Mars is there's miners that live there, and they're paid almost nothing. And there's no air on Mars, and they have to pay money to the billionaire who owns the mines for air. They have to pay for the air they breathe.
Right.
You know, they have mutations and weird stuff happening to them. Some of them have weird psychic powers now too. That'll come into this later. But anyway, there's a scene here with Sharon Stone and this guy, I forget his name, one of the main bad guys. And he's like, well, take this pill and you'll wake up, but the pill's probably poison. So Arnold notices a bead of sweat coming down his head and realizes, oh, this isn't a dream. This is probably real. So then the guy gets got. He blasts the guy. So that's always fun. So then anyway, so we have the mutant city. He goes to the mutants, the workers there, and that's kind of fun because you get to see a lot of the fun, cool practical effects, and people have weird stuff on their face. This woman has a very interesting mutation. You'll have to watch the movie. That's all we'll say about it. Very interesting mutation. This
repeat. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's 1990, and I think that's when the Chicago Bulls started their three-peat. So,
exactly right.
Yeah,
it's a metaphor, and it really happened.
But yeah, these poor people, since they're exposed to like radiation and the filthy air of Mars or whatever, they have weird mutations. Some nice mutations, some less not so fortunate mutation. Anyway, this guy was the cabbie that was driving Arnold and who's the woman he meets? It's like he's been having dreams about her, by the way, before he started all this. Melania?
Yes.
Not Trump. It's not Trump's wife.
It's Melania. No, it's Melina. Or Melina, and she is. This is the other big thing here that I'm always fascinated by. Right, these four people, never forget, guys. Andy Smith, the first man, the second man, third man, the fourth man, and the last man. All you need to know, Andy Smith. But this is the thing for me, right? Is that this another part of it. He goes to Total Recall to get this adventure fantasy put in his head. So he thinks all of this at first is this real, or is he trapped in his mind? And that's what they're trying to convince him of. He's married to Sharon Stone, and Sharon Stone looks the way Sharon Stone looks. You've seen the photo. But when he's describing his dream female, and they're giving her like what is her quality, it's so fascinating. Like she's this, he describes this like it says what he wanted to be. I forget what it was. It was like demure and something. And he's like, he chooses both. And I went, dang. But that's a very cool aspect of this. You know what I mean? Now I don't know what her ethnic background is, but I know that it's gotta be she's gotta be Swedish or something, because it was before 2016. So there wasn't different kinds of people before that, I want to add. But no, I mean, it's
diversity. So
there was none.
Cleaning this up.
Justice for Benny. Yep.
Right. She definitely doesn't look at least a little Hispanic or Latin or something.
That's right.
Missouri Johnson.
Sleazy. Sorry. Mike gave me the other one. It was demure and sleazy.
I think that they're not kidding. I think they're actually right. But Missouri Johnson, one of the great names of all time. Suspension of disbelief was the 80s greatest superpower.
It was.
That is so profound about everything we're talking about on this channel all the time.
Yeah.
That's where we want to take you guys. We want to take you for a fun ride that totally entertains. That's number one. But number two, then it can inspire you. You say, well, I can be brave. I can be heroic. I can be loyal, whatever. But, we don't want to preach at you and moralize like that too much. Not heavy-handed. That's who wants to be like scolded.
You get enough of that from the mainstream.
Right. But if it can lift you up, like I came out of Top Gun Maverick and I was like, I wanted to be a fighter pilot again. I wanted to be one when I was a little boy. I was obsessed with model airplanes. I grew up in San Diego, and the Miramar Air Show where they filmed the original Top Gun was right by where I lived. You know what I mean? It's totally common for me to this day to see jets flying around by my house. I see them all the time. And even when I've been on like Comic State Kings, Ethan's like, what's that noise? And it's jets flying by, So when I came out of Top Gun, I was so inspired by the heroism and the brotherhood. And I just felt like I was a little kid again when I wanted to fly an F-14 Tomcat for the U.S. Navy. Then some adult told me, you can't wear glasses and be a pilot. So thank you.
Yeah.
So, got it.
Yeah, we had some great actors, and she was in Falling Down is an amazing movie with Michael Douglas.
Gosh. We have to review that.
We're going to do that one for sure. Because I'm not, again, guys, we're trying really hard not to get political, right? But someone needed to stand up about this whole McDonald's breakfast thing. Okay, because listen, when it says it's just a couple minutes past, I know, that you guys have the bacon, egg and cheese. Like, I know you have those biscuits back there. And now, you know what? Let's not go there. I don't want to get upset. I already got Cheeto dust all over my chest. I feel sad and emotional and vulnerable right now.
You got pound cake in your keyboard.
That's exactly my keyboard means face.
You know what's funny? I have an equalizer for like my stereo system in my office, and I wiped on top of it the other day because it's kind of hidden in my desk here, and there was like brown crust on it. It was like, this is the brownie I was eating with Shant on my 30-day closeout. Oh, I guess when I crammed it in my face, some of it fell where I didn't see. So
I'm sort of like a squirrel. I've still got a packed pouch of the pound cake from way back then, just in there, like having a dip in. Let me tell you, all you wonderful people here in the chat too, is what I like about this. I love falling down. Yeah, never make a movie like that nowadays. You're right. But this is the thing, right? That when you're looking at this kind of stuff, what the joyous thing about movies to me is that you can say out loud and do out loud what the audience can't do. You don't have to be perfect. Do you get what I mean? You don't have to get like, it's the things when he's describing his ideal woman, it's loaded with subtext. You know what I mean? It's beyond just, you look at it and go, oh, is this what guys are like? Like I always say, it's ridiculous. And is this what women are like? You know what I mean? It's not like that. It doesn't go those places. You see, and we'll get into this even further. But as he meets her, she doesn't trust him, and she shouldn't, because even though he doesn't know what's going on with his mind, it really is this other person, working behind the scenes, right, and trying to meddle with all this stuff. But it's the way that she takes a while to build his trust versus a person that he's trusted without thinking about it constantly, who's the quote unquote perfect, cartoon. It's weird. Sharon Stone in this movie, it's like she's the result of what you think he would program. Does that make sense? Right. And this shows you a little bit of nuance, and what's really behind that, is somebody who's putting on an act and is a stone cold killer. Right. And so, there's so much cool stuff to this. So anyway, I interrupted your synopsis.
No, it's all right. So anyways, he goes to the mutants and all that, and he's supposed to talk to a guy named Kawato, and they end up finding this guy named like Gary or Greg. He has a real normal name, but when they go to talk to him, it turns out he has a conjoined twin on his chest who's like a psychic. And then and I got scared of this as a kid because the Kawato guy's like, open your mind. Yeah, he keeps saying it all weird like that. And I don't know, does he touch Arnold's hand or face? Or
he does. And this is the thing. So here's my story. When everybody's got one of these aunts in their life, but when Lauren was expecting, one of my aunts got this absolutely hideous baby doll for my kids. My wife was just expecting. It was a baby shower. And I looked at this thing and I looked over at her and I said, this thing looks like effing Quado from Total Recall. And she said, no, it doesn't. So I unbuttoned like my shirt, stuck the baby doll into the shirt, put its arms out, and just started chasing her, going, Quaid, get to the reactor. And we don't talk anymore. But the point is this. That thing looks like Winston Churchill. Oh, what the heck is happening here?
Quados need love too. So Quado gives him a vision of this reactor built by ancient civilization, and it can provide the whole planet with air. So now he's got to find it. So, but one thing Arnold finds out, and it's so insane about Doug Quaid and Hauser, is that Hauser's a bad guy, and he's been working with Cohagen and them the whole time, but they didn't know where the reactor. They didn't have all the information, so they could control that stuff. So they kind of set up this whole elaborate thing to get to the bottom of it by sending Quaid, the fake Arnold. He's not real. Who is Quaid? There is no Quaid. He's a made-up person. By sending him to get this information, to find this Quado. And the guy who I liked him. He was the cabbie guy who said, hey, you make me wish I had 3 hands. He kills Quado, just smokes him like nothing. And that wasn't cool, buddy, when he did that. So anyways, they have that. So we get to the third act. They have this crazy thing where they're running through these like basically underground mines
I
and
swear
stuff.
I'm not going to interrupt you. Actually, I am. I can't make that promise. But here's the thing.
Go.
But this is big, guys. This is something I can't overstate that is brilliant in this movie, and I don't want us to move past it. I want it to change the way you watch this movie going forward, which is this. When look, have you seen the shots between behind the scenes where Quato's got that? I'm just saying, but the way that Benny gets in to see Quato is they go, can he be trusted? And he says, takes off this hand he has, and then opens up this mutant arm. And he's like, you can trust me because I'm a mutant too, which is something that we actually don't believe in, right?
Right.
Which is, you can trust me based on this thing, as opposed to whether you should trust me or not. And it's the trust that this guy is uncorruptible because he is biologically similar to these people.
Wait, that sounds like something. That sounds like something else that goes on.
No, it's never. I don't see any parallels. My point is this.
What?
Gabe, here's my point. If you could just give me your social, you can trust me, Gabe.
Right. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. And I forgot to mention the great Michael Ironside from Starship Troopers.
Yes. We love you.
Absolutely. Yes. And he's a great foil chasing our Quaid the whole time. Anyway, they have the big blowout. They fight in the reactor core, whatever. Arnold ends up putting his hand on this thing. I think I have a picture of it, but it looks like it's built for Quato's hand is what I always thought.
Yeah, it totally is.
And then that thing turns on the reactor generator thing. The atmosphere fills with air.
Which
and
is
the day
so
is
cool.
saved. There is a scene. Oh, I skipped it. There is a scene right before we save the day and have the air and all that, where Milena, right? Her and Arnold, they fall out onto the rocks. Right? Is that here? And they almost die. And I love this special effect here where the low pressure is like making his eyes bug out and hers are bugging out. And doesn't the movie start that way where he has a dream like that?
That's the start where in the start he's in the suit and in the end he's not wearing any suit. He's just wearing his shirt.
Right. So this is from the first scene where he's dreaming. At the end, he just has his street clothes on. But I always love that. Blah, blah. And that, I wish I could do an Arnold. Like an Arnold impersonation. I'm like 50% there, but Frege does the best one of anyone I know personally. So,
Frege's a man.
Yeah, absolutely. So I hope that made some sense and summed it up. But it's an amazing movie about what is consciousness, who are you really? What is a dream? What is reality? And if you think about it, who was Quaid then? Like the good guy? Because for his whole life, Carl Hauser was a bad guy, and he worked with the bad guys that oppressed all the miners. And then he goes on this mission as a secret agent to be a good guy. But is any of that even real? Is any of this real, or was it all a dream?
That's the bigger question.
Right. And right here, when there's the atmosphere and they have their big Hollywood kiss and they're talking about whatever, it fades to white. Is that symbolizing like he's waking up? It's a little bit like The Sopranos, spoiler, where you don't know if Tony Soprano gets shot or not. It just fades to black, and then that Journey song starts playing. It's kind of reversed. This one fades to white, and then the movie's over. So was any of this real? Was it all a dream? Like Biggie Smalls says, it was all a dream. Used to read Word Up magazine. Who knows?
It's. I will say this, man, and this is the thing about this work that I always love and I always think about. Absolutely right. Is that I think it was Peterson or somebody, Jordan Peterson might have said this, but I've heard it a lot of different places, which is if you don't like the kind of person or you have some sense that there's this kind of person that you ought to be, the trick is behave like that person. Start, if in your mind the only way to reason it is I'm acting like what I think a nice person is, do that, and that behavior over time, habituated, will actually shape and change your character. It's a very hard thing to do, but when you see people, everybody looks for answers and they look for things to try to figure out. But the real question is, at the end of the day, is that it's really ultimately about, if you have a sense that there's some untapped human potential within you, if there's a hero that you need to be, right? That's something that when you start to act on it, it can't be looked away from, and I think that's important.
Yeah, I think you're totally right about that concept that you're talking about that Peterson said. And I've heard it before from Aristotle, said characters built through habit. So if you do, like Sean said, if you have that potential in you of something that you need to be, then act, that whole saying, act as if, fake it until you make it, you know, 21 days to build a habit or whatever kind of pop psychology like that. It is actually true. If you just do these things, regardless of how you feel, if you hate it and you do it anyway, you will begin to not hate it.
Yeah.
You know?
If you hate, it doesn't matter whether you want to be in the gym or you love being in the gym. If you go to the gym that same amount of time and do that regimen, you will get into better shape. It's irrelevant. It don't care. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead and give these people a.
That's good. Yeah.
Was it okay? I want to do it Arnold so bad.
Yeah, it's hard. Go ahead and give these people a. He's such a. Someone said this that most people can get close to an Arnold imitation. I think it was Jim Gaffigan who said, "How come most people feel like they can do an Arnold Schwarzenegger accent, but Arnold Schwarzenegger can't do an accent of anybody who speaks like an American?" It's kind of rough, right?
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger can't do any accents.
Yeah,
he just sounds like this Austrian man, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah, he's like, "I'm playing Austrian now." You know, you're like. You're playing Arnold, man. You're playing Arnold.
I remember some comedian, I don't know if it was Dennis Miller. So back in the 90s, there was a rumor of Arnold being in a Sergeant Rock movie. And they're like, how's he going to do that? There come the Nazis. Here they come. The Germans. We must stop the Germans. It's like...
We've got to stop them now. It's like, wait a second, Arnold. Wait a second. I don't know, man.
My goodness. Well, I absolutely adore this movie. I saw it a bunch when I was a kid. I don't know. Thinking about it, you know, I haven't thought about this movie in a while. And someone in the chat mentioned it 2 or 3 weeks ago. We were going to do it last week, and then Top Gun came out, so we did Top Gun instead.
Yeah, man.
But I don't know. This movie just it does really. Someone said earlier, I think it was what is the great name that I'm in love with tonight? Missouri what? He's got that screen. I can't find it, but he said that the 80s greatest thing was suspension of disbelief.
Absolutely. You know? Greatest superpower was the suspension of disbelief. Yes.
Right.
Absolutely true. Yeah. I mean, and that's really the thing for us, you know, when we're trying to figure out what are the things that are going to make this, you know, make the creativity we make so, you know, successful or interesting or compelling. I mean, I think in a lot of ways it was Missouri Johnson. That's what you were looking for. I think what Missouri Johnson said was very true. And no, that is not his adult film name. But go ahead and read that. Go read that.
I saw this in the drive-in as a double feature with Blind Fury. I preferred Blind Fury. That's a movie we'll have to review. What a weird movie. I finally saw that like 6 months ago. It kept popping up on Amazon. And I'm like, okay, Amazon, I'll watch it. Because it just kept bothering me to watch it. I liked it. It definitely is an 80s, 90s, or, you know, early 90s kind of movie. It's weird though. You know, but it's Rutger Hauer.
Rutger Hauer, and he's
that's a good one. I've only been to a double feature once at the Carousel Cinema in Escondido, California. It's one of those places we pay $1 to watch a movie, and they would do like a double feature sometimes. I don't know, $1 or $2, and I saw Pulp Fiction and Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger has a baby. No, he has a baby.
Junior.
That is the worst movie I've ever seen, Junior. That is the worst movie I've ever seen. I hate it. The only movie I hate almost as much as Deadpool. Those are whenever I think of the worst experience I've had at the cinema, it's Junior and Deadpool right there, right into the trash can with those 2 movies. Holy crap, I hate those movies.
Apex Comics, you and John can sort that out, but I want to make sure I say this. You need to trademark that right now, okay?
What?
Blonde furry is what an idea for that's a great idea for a comic. I guarantee you that meets its funding goal. Just, you know, on name alone, you know? That's the way it is. Yeah, Junior was a disaster, says Angela Curry. Right on.
Hardware Wars. I saw the Deadpool and Die Hard for $1 in San Diego. Did you go to the Carousel Theater in Escondido by chance? I paid $1 to watch Junior, and I overpaid. So there you go. In 2005 or 6 or whatever it was, the Hulk movie by Ang Lee. Remember?
Hulk
and I went and saw it, and I had just become friends with Mike Barron like a year or 2 before that. We both lived in Colorado at the time. Yeah. And Mike saw it like the next day or the next week or whatever. And I asked him, what'd you think? He's all, well, about 45 minutes into the showing I went to, the projector broke. He's all, but I think I saw enough.
Dude.
That always made me laugh that he hated it. I didn't think it was okay. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I will tell you this though, guys, and this is the crazy thing about it. You know, Junior, all of these movies, right? Watch Sly's Oliver. There you go.
I got through 15 minutes.
Or Oscar, sorry, Oscar. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah,
yeah, we know what you meant. I watched about 15 minutes of it and I turned it off. Unbelievably bad movie.
Yeah, sometimes you got to tap out on these things. Like, listen,
Right.
it's not a crime.
Right.
You know, it's it's rough, man.
Is this a put down or an endorsement? I like the Angry Hulk. I wouldn't watch it again.
That's that's what, you know, that's a lot of things, you know what I mean? It's Blonde Fury, copyright 2022, Apex Comics.
There you go.
See, I do think that you need to do a dueling campaign, right?
Right.
With I think it was John who said Blind Furry as an option. And
Right.
I think that Blind Furry should be an action comic where a furry is at a furry convention and their head gets turned around. So they can't see. Like the eyes are on the back of the head. I think that needs to happen, okay? Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, well, we're always doing movies we love. I wonder about doing movies that are just atrocious. We could do one night, do one that's absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
Another thing I'd like to do, if people in the chat are interested, Dan Lawless brought this up after the show last night, Players Club. He said we should bring a fan on, just, you know, one at a time or something like that. Bring them in for like 10 minutes and get their perspective as the consumer of art and all that, and just, you know, hang out with them a little bit, but learn from them too. You know, get some good feedback. But you know how on radio they do call-in. Maybe sending the link to someone in the chat sometime would be fun. I don't know. What do you think of that?
No, I'm open to a lot of things, man. I hope you guys are nicer to Dan Lawless than we are after streams, man. We were on with John. We were like going, you need to put a book out because we want to buy it. Like, you got out of hand. You know, it was like peer pressure. No,
I was telling him that last night. I was telling him if he does his sword and sandals, his own Conan the Barbarian, but obviously not Conan, with women drawn the way he draws them, you can back up the Brinks truck to his house.
Yep.
You know. So yeah, Dan Lawless.
Jake says, I got a bunch here. I had the misfortune of seeing Norbit, and then we have Angela Curry saying Mac and Me ? Yeah, Mac and Me is practical effects. Uncanny Valley. Man, that thing scares the hell out of me.
McDonald's and Me. Well, it is Mac Tonight.
That is right.
Mac Tonight.
McDonald's and Me.
McDonald's got sued for using that song Mac the Knife.
Oh,
Mac
really?
the Knife is a song in the 60s. And they said it's Mac Tonight for the Big Mac. And they got sued because they didn't get the rights. A company as big as McDonald's didn't bother to get the rights. I don't know why I know this. I think I watched a YouTube video about it or something like that. So, yeah. So, absolutely. Sorry, Norbit. Yeah, I've never seen Norbit. I don't like Eddie Murphy's movies. I don't know. I liked the one, Beverly Hills Cop was great. But all his stuff like in the 2000s, I don't know who it's for. Maybe it's for kids or something. I haven't seen them. Every time I see a commercial for them, I'm like, I definitely don't want to see that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's this is the thing too, right? It's Mac the Knife by Bobby Darin, 1960. Indeed, yeah.
Right.
Mine is I love the Louis Armstrong is always in my head, man. Love that, man. But this is the thing too, guys, and this is the stuff you're funding, whether it's with No Sparrow or whether it's, you know, Truth, Justice, American Way. My whole thing about it is that what we're able to do creatively is so outside of the bounds of this. Like when you look at the practical effects or you look at all that stuff, what we're really talking about is the issue is never whether something is computer generated or not. Any special effect that you buy into or any concept or idea that you buy into works. Trading Places is great. I love that movie. But it's just, I was thinking about this whole idea of, you know, I was painting the other night, I was painting on my stream a werewolf. Shocker. I was painting on my stream. I was painting a werewolf silhouette, and he was giving a flashback. And in the flashback are Egyptian pyramids. And I went, I've got a werewolf and Egyptian pyramids that I'm tying together in this narrative. And when I look at Total Recall, right, it's got action, it's got comedy, it's got you know, but honey, I'm your wife. Consider this a divorce. Like, it's got all of these ridiculous things in it. It's got early CG. It's got practical effects. It's got space travel that, funny enough, you never see. You just see the airport on arrival, like, essentially. Like, it's like he gets to Mars. And that's the thing that makes you, Timmy Mello absolutely does. And I love the Golden Child. Yeah. Maybe he knew I was coming and got scared and, killed himself. I love that part. Yeah. I would like to speak to Tommy Tong. My favorite part is where it goes, okay, you don't speak English, let me translate this for you. Bring Tommy Tong here or I'm going to bust your ass. The greatest thing. And every now and again, I will go into the kitchen and risk divorce by saying to my wife in a loud voice, quoting the Golden Child, flip it over, man. It's burning. It's burning, man. Flip it over. I don't want no trouble. I just want some chips. No trouble. No. Just some chips.
You've got his cadence down. You've got that
Murphy,
cadence down. That's great.
I saw Beverly Hills Cop when I was in second or third grade.
Really?
Which I'm not saying is ideal. Yeah, and so I saw, the Michael Tandino murder, all that other stuff. I saw that stuff. But the thing is that when I was experiencing some bullshit when I was coming up, and you know how it is what it is. Eddie Murphy was like my hero. Do you know what I mean? Like, because he would walk into any situation and bullshit his way through it as Axel Foley. Like, he would just he would do the right thing. He would get things done. And I just love that stuff, man. Love that stuff.
Yeah, I'd never seen Beverly Hills Cop till you recommended we review it on here.
Yeah,
and I was delighted. I've never watched his movies because I didn't really watch movies much growing up at all. And then when I was older, he started making Norbit and Meet Dave and all these. Yeah, really, they don't look so bad so much as they look really weird and not good weird. I'm down for weird if it's weird, but this is just like, what? I see his movies and I'm like, what? What are these? I don't know. They seem very strange.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
This goes with who said that he's the king of one-liners, and then he said,
"Hang on one second, I'll be right back."
To hell with your freedoms. Yeah. Now laugh like I could do that. Hold on, I think I can do that. Okay, I can't do it right now. I probably need another drink, but we all know that Eddie Murphy laugh. I enjoyed the second Beverly Hills Cop movie as well. I don't think I've seen it. I don't think I've seen that at all. I don't know what happened to Sean. He just ran off. So I'll take a timeout from Total Recall and show you guys a little something. If you want to see more Truth, Justice, American Way, David Williams is back in the saddle working on it. So I have a little bit of art I can probably show. I got a little bit of art I can show right here. Let's open this up. I haven't colored it yet, but I'm working on it here. This is going to be the $70,000 stretch goal right here of a pinup that I'm going to work on. So let's check this out real quick. He sent this to me 2 days ago. Gary Martin is working on a background of like some stars shooting out, kind of like the Wonder Woman thing. So I'm gonna color this up. I think I'll color it live and record it and make some videos out of it too. But yeah, this is absolutely amazing. I'm just in love with what Dave's doing here. So we're back to work on this. It's a lot of fun, and I'm juggling too. I'm also working on Beef Law at the same time. I have a few pages of that, but I'm just so excited that we're back on this because Dave's family went through some real tough stuff, and he had to take a big time out from working on anything. And he's back to work now, and it's really he's doing the work of his career. You could see the passion and the love he has for this stuff. I'm so excited. I can't believe it. I feel like a kid in a candy store, working on this stuff with him. So let's see. He was drawing stream with Aaron, so great to see him on. Yeah. He was supposed to be on last night on the Players Club. And like an hour before the show, he calls me and he goes, not gonna make it on the show tonight. And Dave is a fit guy. Something is happening to Sean.
Something happened. I don't know. Some dominoes came.
All right. Dave's a fit guy. I get the impression he doesn't eat too much junk food.
No
but
comment.
He called me an hour before the Players Club last night and told me that he was not going to make it because he had gone out, gotten himself a hamburger the size of a steering wheel, fries, Coke, got the whole shebang, ate all this junk food, and when he gets home, his darling wife has made a delicious dinner. So your wife makes you dinner, puts it on the table and all that. You don't want to tell her, I just had 2 Big Macs, 4 fried chickens and a Coke. So he then ate the extravagant dinner his wife made, thus giving him what is known in urban communities as the itis.
The itis is real.
When you eat too much, you can get the itis. And then you get hot, you get tired, you get the burps, and you need to go to bed. So Dave literally missed our show last night because he had too much food.
Let me tell you something, man. I have a life alert thing on me that triggers Domino's to deliver me pizza. I don't know what that's about.
It's reverse life alert.
Yeah, it's death alert. It's like your life expectancy is going up again. Order some Domino's. Oh my God!
Yeah, they're saying your life expectancy's got it. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. 4 fried chickens and a Coke. Well, Apex, we have to do the Blues Brothers on here. That is one of the 10 or 12 movies I watched about 100 times growing up.
Yep.
I love that movie.
We're on a mission from God.
We got both kinds of music, country and Western. So I love that part where they're in the cowboy bar and they're singing Stand By Your Man and all the cowboys are crying into their beer and getting all emotional because it's a little romantic song.
Yeah.
And when they do Rawhide and Cab Calloway doing Minnie the Moocher, and what a fantastic movie. What a fantastic movie.
And hail Louis Fillet. Let me say this too. Life with Eddie Murphy's good. If we do Blues Brothers, if we shift into Blues Brothers, I want to also add, we gotta see if we can do Animal House.
Oh yeah,
That would totally work.
Oh yeah.
Hang on, I gotta grab a soda. You guys you're making this happen. Hang on, I'll be right back.
Shanta's gonna eat an entire pizza on stream. So yes, we have more Truth, Justice, American Way art. And I know, guys, when we came out the gate and we started funding on this book, Dave and I did not have enough art. And we were in the middle of making more. And then his family has just the worst. Some real bad stuff, personal stuff. The news is out there, but I'm not going to talk about it. But things turn around. We've been praying a lot and things are headed in the right direction. But it's very serious life and death stuff. So he didn't work for a while. And if you guys knew the details, you wouldn't blame him. But he's back at the drawing table, and I'm so thrilled that my friend, first of all, I'm thrilled that his family's doing better. And secondarily, look at this art. It's going to be so good to color this up and get it out there. And we want to get it to 70,000. So this can be included as a print for you guys. It's going to be awesome. And the other thing I'm working on is Beef Law. That is my 1990s style action movie. Everything we love here on Double Impact. I mean, look what I have on tonight. I proudly wear this. My Double Damn shirt. My son bought it for me. And it's basically a video game selection screen. And it's a video game of my dreams. Every character is Van Damme. So take that. Take that, people who claim to have good taste.
I guess you don't like the cornbread neither. One of the greatest quotes from movies. Know that, Teflon Ron.
You gonna eat your cornbread?
That's right.
Oh my gosh. Illinois Yahtzees chasing the blue. Yes.
Yep.
I ate a large pizza or an extra large pizza by accident once and got the itis.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching Star Trek of all things, and I'm not into Star Trek. I don't hate it, but whatever. It's just never something I was into. And it was early in my marriage, so I was very young. I was like 18 or 19.
Mm-hmm.
I was home alone, and I ordered like a medium pizza because I'm a big guy. I'm 6'4". I could eat a medium thin crust because I prefer thin. And I was watching Star Trek for some reason, like on a Saturday afternoon. And I ate the whole pizza while I was watching the show and just felt awful. And I turned to look at my medium pizza box, like, what was wrong with that pizza? And it said like L on it or XL. It was like a large or an extra large. And because I was caught up with Captain Picard, I had eaten the entire thing. Yeah. So that was not a good afternoon, but we recovered. So
yeah. I'm 6'4", but it's diameter. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm 3'4" height wise. But I look like an ice cream cone that's just melted. Like what?
Okay.
There you go. That's Beef Law, not beef.
I love this. Round 1,
dance. That's right.
Oh my gosh. Yes, Hard Target. Yeah. Now, Hard Target is the one where it's the most dangerous game. It's the same story, right?
That. Yes.
And it's John Woo movie, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Is that John? I believe that's John Woo's American debut as a director.
It was.
And that is the greasiest mullet of all time.
It is.
And in fact, let me show you something. It is the literal inspiration for the hero of Beef Law, Maximilian Volkov. I literally gave him the same haircut because of that movie. So when you look at Max Volkov in this, what you're looking at is Hard Target. So as you can see, I'm working on Truth, Justice, American Way at the same time as I'm getting Beef Law ready. One thing I don't want to repeat when I launch Beef Law, I want to have a ton of it done. I'm not going to launch it till the fall, and I'm already drawing it. So I plan to have a ton of it drawn, hopefully a majority of it, hopefully most of it done by the time I launch it on Indiegogo. But if you love 90s action and adventure, the logline for this is basically Maximilian Volkov is the undefeated champion of the illegal underground fighting scene in Hong Kong. When his father runs afoul of the Chinese and Russian mob, will he be able to survive the tournament long enough to expose the criminals to the authorities? But they force him to fight against his will in illegal tournaments. So I just love the concept of that. Like a guy who fights in illegal kumites, he has this sense of honor and all this stuff, and they force him to go all the way in this stuff. So he has to defend his family and set him free from the clutches of these mobsters. It is 80s action. We're down by the docks. Like here's I just finished inking this page today. The opening scene of the book is this. He's flying through the air. Then he's just cracking skulls. He's fighting this guy in an illegal fight. Oh wait, let me pop this in here. This is an illegal fight down by the docks. So then when I'm drawing the skylines and the docks and the equipment to lift all the shipping containers, I'm asking myself, why did I set this thing in Hong Kong? Now I got to draw all kinds of building backgrounds and all kinds of stuff. But it is a blast. But these are fresh inks. Page 4, I just finished inking that today. So
Repeat
yes,
the quote.
Go ahead.
Repeat the quote from Hard Target, Chomp. I go, which quote did I say? I know them all,
Right.
I just want to, if I can make a quick pitch to it. If you do buy Beef Law, you'll be provided with trackers and all the necessary things that make our hunts more interesting.
Right. How much longer? We got a direct question here. How much longer will Truth, Justice, American Way be in demand? I'm going to leave it in demand until we print it. So it's going to be a while. But that doesn't mean you don't need to buy it tonight. It would be better to get to the 70,000 stretch goal now, and then we can move on to the next one. But
come back here. I'm gonna cut me a steak. I can't. I'm trapped.
No, it's
I can't get out of Arnold Vosloo. Well, can I just add this, Scott? So here's the thing I'm telling everybody. With both No Sparrow and Truth, Justice, and American Way, we're taking the Cecil approach. Okay, every night until it closes, it will be closing.
Right.
So you always want to make sure you want to back it so you don't miss when it's closing this night. And tomorrow night it will also be closing. It will be closing every day until it actually closes. That's
right. Right. Absolutely. But yeah, I'm having the time of my life. I spent, I think, 3 hours inking today. I inked, and all I inked was basically this bottom panel here, the bottom two panels here. That big finger sticking at him. That you had enough there. So yeah, Max is getting throttled by our villain here. So I don't know. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of tournaments. There's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on in this book. But it's all action. But it's hard, and it isn't just mindless violence and there's no story. All of the violence serves the plot and the characters. You know what I mean? You reveal the plot, and then the plot reveals the characters. If the characters do this thing, then they are these people. So I have all of it in mind. It's already written out, so I'm too excited to work on it. So,
dude, can I ask you a question? Just about Beef Law? Just when I'm looking at it and I'm thinking about the stuff you're into, your aesthetic, all that stuff. Are you gonna do stuff with the colors on it, where you kind of go for that sort of 80s sort of video game, kind of box art? Do you know what I'm saying? Like that, not limited, but I mean try to bring some of that pop into it. I'm just curious.
I'm gonna have to experiment, because if I just do it straight up like what I've done at DC and everything, I don't think that's enough. I think I have to find an aesthetic with the colors. So yes, the answer to your question is yes. There's going to be something up with it, but I don't know yet. I'm very early in the stages. I had to get the script and the character descriptions done, so I got that done 2 months ago.
Yeah, you're in inking mode and drawing mode now.
Right, so I'm in inking and drawing now, and I haven't done any color concepting yet. But I wanted to get. I think by the end of June, I made a goal to have 12 pages penciled and inked. I have 4 right now, so another 8 this month. I'm taking it slow because I'm doing it right. And if I have to do things over, if I have to just ink half a page today, and then I'm tired, so I stop. That's my rules. My rules are I want to be like Tom Brady and Tom Cruise and all that, as far as being professional about what I'm doing. Like, we're going to do it right, or we're not going to do it. You know what I mean? So I had another version of this 2-page spread that I started, and I scrapped it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's not good enough. So it's going to be right, or it's not going to. I don't want to do it because these people, I want them to buy it, but I want them to enjoy it. I would be devastated, might be too harsh, but I can't think of another word for it. I would be very upset, I guess, if anyone in this chat, these wonderful people, super chats, coming in, talking, hanging out, having fun, forks over money to buy this book for me. They get it and they're underwhelmed or disappointed. That would be devastating to me. I don't want that. This has to be my best work. So I'm giving it everything I have. No one's perfect, but I'm giving it everything I have. I really believe in what I'm doing here. I really love it. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing for us about all this stuff is, and I was just watching Charlie's London on my man, Lord Crackhead 33. Anybody not subscribed to Jeremy's channel, do check it out. He's getting close to 1,000. He's a great dude. He promotes, Comicsgate, and he's an awesome dude, man. It's one of those things where, it's when we're doing this work, Charlie's was talking and she goes, there's several aspects to this. Is communication with your backers, making sure you're available on, YouTube and everywhere else, to do all that stuff. But the biggest thing is this, and you have a lot of time to think about that, particularly when Gabe and I both shipped books. We both shipped comic books. He shipped a lot more than I have. But once that book is done, and you can see this on Ethan's face when he talks about work too. Once that book is done, it's there forever like that. You don't go back and you don't rework this stuff. Like, it's almost unheard of to do that. I know Brian Bolland did that with The Killing Joke, and different people do different approaches where they want to refine things. But when you guys get this book, it's got to stand the test of time. And it's not so much like, people talk about analysis paralysis and over perfection. It's not that. We do know how to move on to the next book. But the reason why we're here in Comicsgate, and the reason why these are backed books and independently funded books by you guys, is because for people to do this on our scale, it is so much different financially than a big corporation doing it. We are not the same thing. And what you get from that is something that is lovingly handcrafted for you and made beautiful. That's the key.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally agree. You would rush it out and then make it, you cut corners and all that we had to do at Marvel and DC. And I feel better talking to Gary Martin and Dan Lawless and all my buddies that have been veterans forever, and them to just admit to me, like, yeah, we compromise the artwork at the big companies because you're forced to. They corner you. Yeah. Page rates are too low. The deadlines are too tight. So you're sitting there drawing or coloring, and you're like, I just need to do this and get it done. And it sucks.
Yeah.
And there's no way in hell that I would ever intentionally disrespect any of you fans out there giving me money. Right? Insane. My wife, my kids giving me money, and then, I'm going to cut a corner here because I'm going to go screw around outside or whatever. So I'll just whip out this panel. That's enough. Like, no way. Now that it's like a direct business to customer relationship, there's no way I can give anything less than my best.
Yeah. You're right.
Was telling me to throw this poster up here for inspiration. Absolutely. This is what I want to capture. I absolutely want to capture that. And as was it Missouri Johnson who said that the 80s greatest superpower was the suspension of disbelief? I absolutely want to capture that suspension of disbelief. I absolutely want to capture the madness. Look at the madness in this. The way Arnold screams and just gesticulates. And this is insane. Yep. This is totally insane. An exploding fake female robot head, but it's fun. And then that's why this foot kicking this guy in the face is bigger than his torso, because I'm trying to get to where that robot head that's coming up, I'm trying to get there emotionally. So this book is going to be insane action, but with total heart, because the main theme, and I can give it away without spoiling, is this brother, the older brother, Max Volkov. He's very angry with his father and his family. They emigrated to Hong Kong from Russia with the promise of a good life, and the dad never delivered. So he doesn't have a lot to do with his dad and his little brother, and their mother's passed away. And he's this selfish guy that does a lot of fighting and money stuff for himself, kind of like a Han Solo, where he's the selfish criminal smuggler. And he has that character arc at the end after he ditches the rebels in A New Hope. And he comes back and said, "You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and get out of here."
Mm-hmm.
When he comes back and he saves Luke Skywalker and saves the rebellion, that's what I want to see Max go through. Can he forgive his father and realize that he's wrong for being so bitter and so angry and stuff like that, and use his talents to get his dad and his brother out of this deadly situation?
Mm-hmm.
So it isn't just jump kicks. We tell a great story about family and love and brotherhood with jump kicks. That's how we tell the story.
That's how Van Damme did it. You know, and when you were showing some of these scenes, the things people don't realize is when you're looking at Arnold in that sequence where he takes the head off, the thing I still can't believe when I finally learned about it in the behind the scenes is that is not Arnold's head. That was a prosthetic head inside of the other head because the weight of that mechanism was so heavy. And when you see Quado in the shots where you can see the rest of his body, that is a completely constructed body. Can you see it? It's a prosthetic head. And the same thing with Quado. The whole figure on there is. And Cranberry Langers, Rock Ring, Warlock, Scotsy. It's great to see you guys in Scotsy. I hate Scotsy and Tim Mello. Mike, fan of Double Impact. All of you guys, John, have been so great. And I wanted to say this too. And Dragon Pisces and geez, Teflon Ron, just keep scrolling. But Scotsy was saying that as soon as he gets a chance, he's going to back Truth, Justice, American Way. We thank you for that, Scotsy. Man. And who was the artist on the Steven Seagal poster?
Nori Oshi-Orai. And I just found him like in the last 2 years when I was looking for stuff for Steven Seagal. That poster popped up. I'm like, who painted this? So then I like dug into it, like an image search, and he's so good. It's insane. It's I've shown these before, but let me show them again because they're great fun. Real quick, and we'll get back to what you were saying. But since you asked, and I absolutely love this guy's art, I consider him the Japanese Frank Frazetta because there's something about it that reminds me of that. But let me pop these over here. Like he did like the Japanese Star Wars posters apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how insane that is.
So good.
Look at this stuff. So yeah, after I found that Steven Seagal poster, I found these searching online. I'm like, you got to be kidding me with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just Nori Oshi-Orai. And the thing that really reminded me, I love this.
So good.
Look at that face. Look at the color. Look at his color palette. It's insane.
Yep.
It's insane. This is a video game cover, I think.
That's what I meant when I was talking about video games. Remember the box art covers? And actually, I think it was on Tiger Blue. They got the video game artist. I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. It's embarrassing, but they got him to do a pinup for them, and it's gorgeous. But man, look at that stuff.
And Goonies is one of your favorites, and
that's one of my favorite posters of all time, right there.
Right, and I didn't know Nori Oshi-Orai did this. I had no idea that was him.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Look at how great that is.
Mm-hmm.
His color sense is insane. That purple and that green in the background, that should be illegal to be that good.
Yep.
Look at that.
Gosh, don't you guys miss color and vibrancy and like the passion in this artwork? Like when I go, you guys all know this, like those of you guys who check out my stream, and by the way, thank you. Those of you guys who are subscribed to the channel, when I'm painting, I'm looking at all of this stuff. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. I'm going, what the heck am I bringing to this game if I'm in the same game all these people were in?
Right.
That portrait, one of my mentors, who I'm not going to name because I don't want to get him canceled, as I like to say, is that he said something really brilliant. He goes, the better I get at painting, these artists that I always long to understand deeper, the more skill I get, the more impossible their stuff is. Like I realize how hard their stuff is even more as I gain skill. That portrait, exactly.
Right. Well, I told you his aesthetic reminded me of Frank Frazetta, and I don't know why, because it's different brush strokes. Palettes are similar. There's that famous Spider-Man or whatever by Frazetta where he's killing the spider in the pool of blood, and it has these same greens and reds in it. So I feel like the palettes were similar to Frazetta sometimes. And I was like, oh, Frazetta. I just kept feeling it. And then I saw this, and I went, oh my gosh, that reminded me of this that I saw.
Frazetta portrait, I was just calling it up. Yep.
Right. The Frank Frazetta. I mean, what is that look in his eyes?
Yep.
This is like masculinity personified. This is a man. And you think, oh, masculine, like he's beating people up. Metaphorically, he's beating up painting. He is not giving in. He is going to fight and grind and make himself. He's going to tame and master painting. And he did. Right. and you could see it in his eyes there, total determination. And when I saw Noriyoshi, you see it here. I mean, he's painted himself as a worker. He has that do-rag or whatever. I'm not sure what it is, but to me, as a Westerner, at least, that's what it comes across as, that he's sweating. So he's wearing this rag and he's painting and he's working hard, staying up, 17 hours straight working. And I just see, it's like, dude, it's the same guy. You know what I mean? Just intensity. And this goes back to that Tom Brady, Tom Cruise thing of being squared away and respecting your art form and giving it everything you have. And whatever the outcome is the outcome. Win or lose, that doesn't matter. Fighting to the end and being excited to fight. I just love it. So, yeah, I'm just in love with Noriyoshi's work. I think it's...
I mean, that's sick there. That one, I've seen that one and I just went, nah,
Right.
man. I mean, it's... Guys, when we're doing this stuff, and I always look at my paintings and I always look at, when I'm doing the portraits and things like that. And there's this thing that happens, you right on Teflon Ron, right on, is that when you're doing this work, there's a pulp aspect to it, there's a playful aspect to it, whatever angle that I'm taking when I'm painting. But when you go in and you do a portrait, or when you go in and you're doing something epic, like the composition of that is so expressive and insane, even though to someone else they could go, it looks like you jammed a bunch of stuff in there. No, if you blur your eyes, it looks like a freaking, graphic design poster. Like if you take the thing I love about his stuff, and let's see, that's the Empire Strikes Back one, right? Let me see if I can find this here. Where
I don't even know what this is. It's like blood and guts and skeletons and monsters.
Yeah, let me see this here.
That Empire one is only a half. Here's the full image. Hold on.
Oh, hold on. Yeah.
Hold on. That's it there.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, my stars.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
So let me see if I can do this here. Hopefully this will work.
Okay.
This.
While you're looking, here's another one that's going to blow people away.
Yeah, keep going.
Look at that.
Oh, my gosh.
How? Right? And it's like, you know how he does this?
Mm-hmm.
By being this guy.
Yeah, by being that dude.
That guy, that's how you do this. He doesn't back down. He keeps fighting. He keeps slugging. He keeps swinging. And that's all it takes. It's day by day by day. Look at this one for Jedi.
And this is the thing, guys. You don't have to be perfection is whatever perfection is. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like it's not always attainable. I mean, or whatever. You have to strive for something. And what we're doing is we're striving here. And I honestly can tell you, when I'm buying and backing books, I can feel when somebody is striving for something. It's not all the same. That whole, who's your favorite artist in CG thing that was on Twitter. And I thought about it for like 5 seconds. And I was like, for me, it's Ethan Van Sciver. And there's a very particular reason. But everybody who puts down who their favorite artists are in CG, they have a reason for why. Like, I'm not going to, I don't argue it. I'm like going, yeah, Kenneth Roquefort, damn good, take on that. I could go down that list.
Right.
And talk about how I respect and love different things about every single artist in CG, because that brings their own thing, that brings the thunder, and that's what we're here to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's about passion to make art, and without, you guys, you fans help, then we got to just go back to corporate comics and all that, and unfortunately hack things out. You try to do your best. I don't want to shortchange DC Comics. They're paying me good money, right, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you want to do your best, but the deadlines are what they are, and the corporate structure is what it is, and all that. And it's not nearly as rewarding as being free like this,
Yeah, I got to share this real quick and see if this works, because I love one of the things I really love to show, and I used to do this stuff a lot when I was teaching, because I thought, this is how people need to understand the scale of what you're seeing. Let me see if this works here. There we go. Click on that for me. Yep, that's it. This is dust and scratches on that Empire Strikes Back painting in Photoshop. I just blew the thing out. I want you guys to look at how you've got that pyramid of value, and then within it, you've got those red highlights that are orange red highlights that are coming forward, that are framing different things, different characters, different perspective. Mm-hmm. But as a whole, it is so well designed You can see the composition so well, and I guarantee you, there's probably a composition sketch by this guy somewhere
Right.
that is.
Oh,
the
I
equivalent
showed
of
one.
this.
I showed
Yeah.
one. Let me. I'm going to switch
Yeah,
back
I'll share
to that
this.
just a second.
Yeah.
That look at that. This one is all
You
floppy,
guys see it?
but this is a study.
Yep.
This is a study to get the shapes and the values and the color choices correct.
Yep.
You see what this stuff will be eventually. But yeah, that this is the point Shant is making. And again, this you can do this because you're this guy.
Yep.
And you don't back down when the work is hard. It's glamorous and whatever to be an artist and everyone loves you. And, oh my God, Shant, your painting's so amazing. No one sees Shant at 4 a.m. with bleary eyes and he's been painting for 6 hours and Shant's being this guy. Or when I'm doing that and I'm getting up early in the morning, going to bed late at night so I can just try to touch what this guy's touching. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of the joy for me, honestly, is in the fight. I love it.
Yeah.
I really do like, I'm tired or whatever, this is whatever. And you go anyway and it works. And when you're just bleary eyed and you're exhausted and you do it anyway, what a gift. The gift to be able to struggle and fight. I love it so much.
Yeah. I mean, it's we're all in here. This is the thing I always think is so important. We're in here to try to create a space where comic book creators can live a little bit better than they live when they're working for the big corporations. And Gabe has told his story of taking around creators everybody knows who have created every single thing you can imagine, who are died penniless, and did not get any of the residuals for the work they created, which is ridiculous, right?
Right.
Well, the thing is that the when we're starting out and we're doing this and we're building, whether it's Phil Diaz with CG Vacation, it's Gabe with Truth, Justice, American Way, or it's me with No Sphero, it is. I flipped through my backers today because I was contacted by one of my backers about something they wanted to correct or fix. And please just do it right the first time, though, for my sanity, because I am Shanthan Jetty Art. I'm the whole damn thing. So I'm doing all of it. But I'll tell you that. But these things happen. And I was going through there, guys. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm scrolling through the names, and I'm seeing backers who are comic skaters I respect. Some of them may be in the stream. And I'm going through this, and I'm seeing all these names, and I got really emotional. I said to my wife in the other room, I was like, these guys who are back in this book, and it's overwhelming to scroll through page after page after page of people that want to will this dream into existence. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's got a ways to go before it's something that even approaches, like financially winning the lottery or whatever. But it starts with can we make a book? Can we make a great product? And is this reasonable to ask of our families to do this? That's a big part of it. Whether you David Williams, Gary Martin, when you guys back these books, you are choosing to treat the creators in a way to where they're going to do their best work for you. And like Paul Masson, they will make no wine before it's time. But it'll get done.
Yeah,
this stuff inspires me, dude. You introduced me to so many. Like, this is, guys, I hope you guys feel this when you're in this stream. We get to talk about movies. We get to talk about all this stuff we love, right? But Gabe and I, in these conversations, we introduce each other to different movies, different artists, and this is the bullpen, guys. You guys are with us in the bullpen as we just grind away on these pages. We love it, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I'll tell you, working inside the business, there wasn't a lot of conversation like this. Unfortunately, a lot of the conversations centered around the bad deadlines and stuff like that. It was like, well, if you get me the inks by Wednesday, I can get you colors by Friday. And it was it's very corporate. And we forget, like, Disney and Warner Brothers, I mean, are those the two biggest entertainment companies in the world? They might be, right? I mean, Disney's the biggest, right? I don't know who's second, if it's CBS or Warner Brothers or whoever it is, but it's there. And you forget, because it's DC Comics, you forget that you're working for like one of the biggest companies in the history of the world. And some accountant somewhere doesn't really care about your artistic vision. They're like, well, according to market research, I remember San Diego Comic-Con back in the old days, the salad days. You would get to go out to dinner every night of Comic-Con. That was my favorite thing about Comic-Con, was not the San Diego Comic-Con during the day, was the nights. Robert Kirkman throws the best parties. I worked for him on Invincible Universe. He rents out just amazing. He rented out like a giant parking lot, had like 6 food trucks, and then Weezer played an hour-and-a-half concert.
Wow.
And it was free for all of us to go to. Free food, free drink. And the other time he rented out the San Diego Padres baseball stadium upper deck and just had this amazing party with all these things and food. But I remember going to all these dinners and all these parties, all this stuff. And I'll get back on my point here. I remember having dinner at Morton's Steakhouse right next to the San Diego Convention Center.
Yeah.
And it's a bunch of DC people, like 20 of us at this table. I don't remember the gentleman's name, but he worked in the marketing and promotions and all that. He was pretty high up. And he told me they could predict to within, the 10,000 or whatever, what a book will sell. Like, if we do Harlequin with this writer and this artist, we know we'll get 35,000 copies a month, or we'll get whatever. And it was, as an artist, wanting to like tell stories and make stuff like what you're seeing on the screen here, it was just sobering. Like, oh my God, they're just numbers. It's just dollars. They don't care. And he wasn't being a jerk. He was just telling me what his job was. But they have analysts that literally work for Warner Brothers. Like, if we do Batman and we release it in May and Tom King writes it and this guy draws it, we predict we're going to get 83,000 copies or whatever. And he said it was a science. I had no idea they had people that did that. But when I heard him talk about it, it was like, oh, that doesn't sound very artistic. Like, goodness. It's just,
we're building, man. And this is the thing with us, we're building, right? So the limits and the potential of Shanthan Jetty art, the limits and the potential of Nosfero, the Cryptwalker, are being continuously discovered by you guys. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. Like, when you guys promote this, we're growing this stuff. And that's how comics used to be. It's crazy. Like with this artist right here, this artist at some point started, nobody knew who the heck they were. They weren't at the top of their skills, but they just kept working and working and working. And that's all it is. One foot in front of the other. One idea. Like, you have to put something out there and then you have to work on it and improve it and develop it,
Right. Yeah. I like this comment here. You can predict within 100,000 how many will sell it each day. Most cases, 0.
Yes, that's true.
Now, this analyst I was talking to, this was like 8-9 years ago. This was pre like the woke firestorm that's going on now. So, because if the analysts are telling them to do what they're doing now, I don't know. To me, this feels like woke activists are steering the car now. If I have to choose between bean counters that can, predict sales or woke activists, I'll go with the bean counters. I don't want either. I just want artistic vision to rule the day. But maybe at a multi-billion-dollar company, that's not reality. It definitely isn't. But you know where it is reality? Right here. CG.
That's right. It is. Well, you said it well, man. When I was some of the first explorations I did. By the way, guys, for those of you guys who wonder what I look like, the rest of me off camera, that Quado is like. No. When you see the rest of, that's me right there, guys. This is. I'm like.
Sean was actually on set, standing behind him. Right.
Yeah. I call Domino's and I'm like, activate the oven. Wait. That's pretty much what it is. But I'll tell you this is when I was starting to work on like a CG book, and if you go to my Instagram, you will see 3 or 4 different, not 3 or 4, actually 2 attempts at CG books. First, there was a black and white one I was doing. I was going to have it be all black and white. There was another one that was going to be, funny enough, a kaiju book that was going to be painted on this particular board. Oh. And after the 2 art books funded, and it wasn't very good. I'm going to tell you this right now because this is the process we go through of figuring out ideas. Off camera.
John,
it's totally true.
I need you to stand up.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I can't. Sorry, can't do it.
Why can't you stand up?
There's no reason. Because then the other me will have to who's laying down will have to look
okay.
Up.
Is your
like, how great would that be if I just went down and a whole nother body came up?
Wait a minute. Are you the main body or are you the little Quato sticking out of the
totally the Quato. Listen.
Okay,
guys.
And now, wait. The pizzas you got, are they for you or are they for the other shop?
They're for the other.
Look at Shant has a tiny Quato eating pizza right now. But
that's exactly right. That's right. Oh my Lord, guys! And
he's like pound cake.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sitting here talking and gesturing, and then a tiny little hand is gonna come up, grab a piece of pizza, and just go. But this is the thing, right? is I said to my wife, and she's usually just silently waiting for me to come to the obvious conclusion. I go, I've sold 2 art books. They launched on Indiegogo because, again, even though they weren't Comicsgate, I was Comicsgate in the sense of I watched what happened to John Mayle and your boy Zach, and I'm like, this is what we're doing. No offense, but you have a horrible taste in pizza. Listen,
hey,
man.
Domino's is affordable. We could say that about it.
No, I will agree with that. But you know,
wait a minute. Don't you live near Connecticut or something, where the home of pizza in this country? Frank Pepe's Pizza is the original pizza place somewhere like in New Haven. Don't you live?
They don't deliver at this hour, man. No, good.
Like, I have a friend from New Haven, Connecticut. He's lived out here in San Diego for like 15 years. Our sons went to Pop Warner middle school, high school football together. I know him real well. Yeah. In fact, my Comic-Con fundraisers at his pizza place right next to the convention center. He does New Haven style thin crust pizza.
Yeah.
I couldn't live where you live and not eat that. It is so good.
Dude, I will say this. I'm equal opportunity when it comes to pizza. And the thing about it for me is that after we did those books and after those books went well or whatever, I'm thinking about what am I going to do in comics? And then I looked over at my wife and I said to her, I went, well, obviously it's got to be one of my art books, but it's got to be about 10 more pages, and it's got to be, it's got to be story, but it's got to be what got me those 30,000 followers on Instagram and what got my, people attention to my work on my YouTube channel. I've got to make that stuff happen. And I really was like going, let's see how this goes. And when I was working on this page today, man, and this is the stuff, right? When I was working on
a little higher, because we got to see the pyramids. Yeah. Oh, so good.
When I was working on this page the other day, and just this morning, like in addition to working on all this stuff, I started working on, this is influenced by the old Masters of the Universe He-Man toy box with He-Man on Battle Cat. This is one of the trading cards that we unlocked. So I just started this afternoon, and I just start painting away on this stuff, and I'm just working, and I've gotten so much faster because of figuring out this process. But the answer was, if people are going to back my stuff and back what I do, they have to get the quality that is beyond what, you typically see in comics. Do you know what I mean? I want this to be the most beautiful, fully painted comic book that you've seen. And that's the goal. Like, it's got to be imaginative. It's got to be playful. It's got to be creative. And every book's got to raise the game.
I want that trading card. Teflon Ron says it.
That's right.
So do it. Do it. Oh,
amen.
I'm trying to do it now. Do it now.
Do it now.
Let's see. Gabe, that was funny how quick you switched from don't hate to I know you can get better quality. Okay, well, that's true. I said Domino's is affordable. I didn't say it was great. It's affordable. That's what you could say for it. I once came up with a slogan for Denny's. It was eat here, see if I care. So
my gosh, it's don't hate, just I just ate. Go ahead, guys.
Let's see. I've only had bad pizza once in my life.
Mm-hmm. I
feel like, pizza's always pretty good because it's very simple. But there is that big puffy pizza. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like 90% dough and just like no toppings on it. And where do you come down on Chicago deep dish?
Here's the thing. Okay. That's a tough call. Well, Chicago deep dish is kind of its own thing, right?
It's not pizza, right?
It's its own thing. Yeah. I don't know, Phil. My brother Phil's in Chicago. Do you know what I mean? If I go there and he wants me to have Chicago deep dish, what am I going to do? I have to have it.
I mean, I'll eat it, but it's not pizza. I'll eat it and enjoy it under protest of it's not pizza.
This is an imitation of me eating terrible pizza right here, folks. This is how it goes. It's like, this is terrible. It keeps
and then you
going.
Just like, oh yeah, that was
exactly. That's like maybe it'll taste good cold tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm glad you didn't get the itis before we went on today, like Dave.
No, man. You know I ordered those pizzas in there. I forgot to eat today. I haven't eaten today. I woke up this morning. I've been working all day. I'm running off on like soda and acrylic paint. That's what it is, man.
Oh my god.
It's been a weird day.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Nosfero, how far along are you? Like it's 28, 30 pages?
Yeah, I did the math for an update recently. I've got because it could have more pages, but I've got geez, what did I say? I'm trying to remember because I counted before I did the update, and then it went down the memory hole because I wanted to make sure I took care of helping that person out there. Let's see here. Well, I said I have 3/4 of the interior pages done. I don't know exactly what that number will shake out to be. But I know I counted, and that's a ballpark. I think I had more than that, but you know how it is. It's like I've got an end battle scene I've got to do, or the final, the sort of climax of the story. And I want to have some room, and this is how I write, and this is how I do things. 30 pages is my safety number. It won't be below that. But if I see a sequence where I need to have a little character moment to add to it, I want to give myself that flexibility.
Okay.
But I think I've got about 24 pages in the can right now. So
sorry, this made me laugh with all you're just like trying to keep it in your head.
So here's something that'll terrify you guys. That is,
Chuck doesn't know how to write, and it's a very sensitive subject.
No, it's scarier than that. So I never thought about how I thought till I met my wife, and she told me she thinks in sentences, and then I said, I don't. She goes, you don't hear an internal dialogue when you do things? And I go,
what?
No, the reason why I talk the way I do is because you're basically hearing my thoughts more or less. I either try to keep them in my head, or I just brainstorm and do this stuff. So she asked me from the other room, she goes, do you remember this guy's name from college? And I basically went Temple Grandin on her ass and listed everything I knew about him in 15 minutes quick. And I said, yes, I remember that dude. And that's one of the things. Like, I see the pictures. Like, when you see Nosferatu, right? I'll give you a really good example. And I know I've done this before, but you guys get the idea. When I see Nosferatu, right, it's just picture all of these pages that you guys have seen me do floating in space and moving around. So we've got these stacks and stacks of drawings that are happening in my head, and I know what all of them are about, what they're tied to. I understand where all of this stuff is going. Like, this is it's a tremendous amount of work. So most of the book is it's well on its way, to put it simply.
Tell me that's all scanned, right? You've already scanned it just in case.
No. I just keep it right over here on the radiator. I have it inside of a Domino's box for safekeeping. Okay. And I've got a little container of garlic. Don't worry, it's sealed. Garlic dip on it. I haven't scanned it all yet. Scanned
the reason to go all the way back, the reason I asked you how far along you are, do you have any idea what you're doing next?
Well, there's two things. So the other night I was up thinking about the work, and I thought, one thing I'm definitely considering doing is doing another art book between Nosferatu and my next comic, because I've got a lot of art that's built up, and I was thinking it might be people want me to print the sketches and the layout pages from Nosferatu. They want to put those things together at some point in a book, and I thought maybe I could include them in a new art book that has new artwork and sketches I've done, and then also has that behind the scenes stuff. But the other thing is, I first knew exactly where I was going with the next Nosferatu. Dude, that even scares me, guys. The zip disk thing, when he said zip disks, I was like, what? They're in the basement. I went, what? No.
I was on a walk thinking about that today, because you know me, I'm always angling for interesting projects. So I'm like, if Dale has the old pit and it's colored in 1992, he should really hire me to recolor it.
Dude,
so I was like angling for that, and then I thought, what if those zip disks are corrupted because it's been 27 years? And then it got a little sad thinking about it.
This is the first Pit book. This is the first Pit softcover collection. So this is issues. I forget which one. What is it? Issues. Gosh, I think it should say in here. God, the graphic design in here is diabolical. I will tell you that. It's like, because it's just, if you had difficulty reading type, you'd be in trouble. But it's the first issues of Pit. Let me see what issue it ends on. It ends on issue 4, I think. So it's the first 4 issues of Pit. And it's got, and they actually did, I think they did do a recolor on this, the Timmy and Pit piece that was one of the first advertisements. I think it was in the back of Spawn #2, if I'm not mistaken. But I love this his artwork in this. It is freaking sublime, and it's just I don't even know how to describe it, but it's some breathtaking and gorgeous stuff, and I want to see that stuff. I want to see that stuff out there. That's what it is. Oh, and Jado, good night, my friend. Take care.
No, Jado,
I have a dreaded dentist tomorrow. Wish me luck. Wishing you luck, man.
Hopefully he's not getting the palate shot like I got. Oof.
That's right. Yeah, Quado's reading for me now, someone wrote. He's got little tiny glasses, tiny little bifocals on. And he's like,
now what if you and Quado didn't like the same kind of pizza? What would happen then?
Quado's like, it all goes to the same place. That's just the way Quado is, man. You share a stomach.
So Quado's the easygoing guy.
Yeah, he is absolutely.
So you're out on the town. It's Friday night. We got a young Shank, young, fit, looking good in college, single guy, not married, no rings on his finger yet.
That's right.
Who was the wingman, you or Quado? And who could do
Quado is unbelievably easygoing, and he never really takes a hard opinion. I'll give you an example. So Quado's out sometimes, and he'll say to me, he'll say, I'll say, Quado, are you religious? And Quado will go, well, actually, I don't know if I'm a believer. I think of myself more as an agnostic atheist. That having been said, I really feel like God loves us all. Wait, Quado, what did you just say right there? That's why he gets on with everybody.
Okay.
Although, he needs me to ride the rides at Disney World because he doesn't meet the height requirement, and he hates the belt, when the metal.
Do you see any romance in the future for Quado? Because I know up to this point, he was complaining to me the other day. You were asleep, but he was texting me, and he was just saying, he doesn't want to be single the rest of his life.
Well, that's not true because...
Do you think there's a woman out there for him?
There is. There's my wife. She's wonderful. She has a little female Quado. So when we slow danced at our wedding, there were 2 pairs of hands, just slow dancing. And Quado would say, "Why?
That's filthy." Okay, this bit is over. I don't want a female Quado and another Quado. That's enough.
Well, the kids. It's interesting you mentioned that. No.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is definitely
and scene.
Yes.
I did attend the Groundlings for 6 weeks in Hollywood with my daughter.
My goodness.
Yes, it was fun. If you've never done improv and you have the time to do improv classes, I recommend it to everyone. It's insane and it's fun. You've all seen Whose Line Is It Anyway? Right? Or is that the name of the show with Drew Carey and all that? Whose Line? That's what we did. We did classes like that in Hollywood because my daughter, she's a stand-up comedian and all that. And I would take her to, my wife would usually take, but I would take her sometimes all the way up to Hollywood, 2-hour drive from San Diego, and sit in the car, go to Starbucks while she did comedy classes.
Yeah.
And then eventually I'm like, I should just take the class too. And it was an absolute blast. So anyone out there, do improv. It's if you get the chance, it's really fun.
They watch us do, and I'll say this, guys, the chat and us, we do improv every week. Yeah, like Pringles with fingers. Oh, this is
one of the worst visuals I've ever had. A little female Quado.
That's right.
It was like Quatina or something. Just
exactly, man. That was the sequel. Right?
Total Recall. I don't ever want to
sequel.
That.
Total Forget.
Cocktail wieners for fingers.
No.
The third melon was a Quado all along.
That's right.
Oh, that's it. He cracked it open. He cracked the case.
Oh my God! Yeah, it's a glorious thing. Okay. I do have to say this about Total Recall, though. I know this is we're off the beaten path, but I got to say this. Sean doesn't wish for those extra set of hands. That's right.
But they're little, like little creepy hands. Oh.
That's exactly right. But they're good for opening up difficult envelopes. Listen, here's the thing I want you guys to bear in mind, right? Is one of the things about this movie I love, and I wanted to make sure we covered before we wrapped up. Dude, I'm telling you, Cecil's gonna sue me because he came up with the idea of Wink, his vestigial twin. So he's gonna sue me. That's Cecil has that locked, man. But the little girl mutant in that story, when they turn off the air and you see those fans slow down, the ability to build humanity for all of those alien characters was second to none. The fact that it was the miracle and the magic that sort of happened through, funny enough, characters like Yoda, where people looked at this puppet and they heard the voice and they heard all of this stuff and they went, this works. I believe in this character. Right. You know what I mean? And and what they used to do is they used to create characters that we believed in, you know, and actually maybe it was, you know, it was from Yoda to E.T. to all of these different characters. Everyone kept trying to do it, but it was something in the design and the interaction and the way that it was put together.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
And that's how it works, man. That's why we're here. It's about character. It's about story. It's about apparently insanity on my part, but what are you going to do?
Ew, mutants to mutants.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, it did. It absolutely did.
Yeah, it did. Well,
that was great storytelling.
It went from ew mutants to mutants. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Gives you something to fight for, man.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know that we're gonna top this. What was
I don't think we're gonna get lower than this.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that was fun. You want to do Fallen Down, or is that too much next week, or what? Do we have other things? Oh wait, I had a list somewhere.
Yeah.
Hold on, I had a list. Give me one. Indulge me. I have a double impact list, a little document here. YouTube. I'm going through my folders. Double impact. Where is it? Do I have it? I might not have it, guys. Here it is. Double impact mode. We had Total Recall, 13th Warrior. Someone said I have Wild Geese written down on here. I don't even know is that a movie? Fury Road. Fury Road's too new. I don't know. I love it, but it's a little too new. But now we could probably do it. What are you feeling like? Are you feeling Fallen Down? Are you feeling something else?
I mean, we could do like, here's the thing about, I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like Falling Down is a little true to our reality right now, just in terms of, do you know what I mean? Like, I was thinking about when you brought up
outrage news cycle. Yeah.
What was the one you were saying?
Well, we said Blues Brothers. We would love
Blues Brothers. Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, we talk about Blues Brothers, Trading Spaces. We talk about Trading Places. I'm sorry, not Trading Spaces. And then what's the other one we talked about? Animal House. But then there's also all these great action movies. There's Hard Target. You know, we haven't Van Dammed in a while. You know, there's yeah.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it should be Hard Target.
Yeah, man.
We both love it. And I mean, I love that.
Untouchables is great too. Dang, that's a great movie.
I love that haircut in Hard Target.
That's right, you do.
As you
Amen.
See, right here. We got the greasy Van Damme look right there. And it's a nice light brown mullet, you know, just like Van Damme, just like the namesake of this show. I don't know if people know that this show is named after the Van Damme movie, Double Impact.
That is right. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
They Live. Warlock. Look through my catalog. We did They Live.
They Live. Great flick.
Love that movie. Love the fight scene of that. And I think, Warlock, you commented like a half hour ago that in my comic Beef Law, I need to channel the fight from that. And you're 1,000% right. I think
I love Time Cop. Time Cop just got thrown in there, and I have to be honest with you.
Gosh.
Time Cop was being advertised.
Mike Barron has a great Van Damme story about Time Cop. It's a very short story, but it was when Van Damme unfortunately had a substance abuse problem.
Yeah,
and he was being very paranoid with Mike Richardson and Mike Barron, the Dark Horse publisher, and Mike the writer. So. I'll regale that some other time. It's not.
So someone asked if we had any Chuck Norris movies that we liked. I've got two that I watched a bunch of times, and I just want to make sure I get the titles right because 1991 Chuck Norris in Hitman. I freaking loved that movie. Hitman. 1991 Chuck Norris Hitman. You want to talk about a movie that I bet you almost nobody here has seen that I've seen 1,000 times. It is. Like, it is a cross between like a Van Damme and Seagal movie with Chuck Norris, and it is rough.
Okay, you know? Well, let's do this. Here's what I'm putting in the queue. I'm putting in Hard Target, Hitman, and then Brian Bosworth in Stone Cold.
There you go.
Holy cats, that's good. Let's do yours though, because I usually pick. Let's do Hitman. I'm making a note here because I've never heard of it.
What? Let's do this. Let's
1991.
ease though. Put Hitman for the week after or the week after that. Let's do Hard Target first because we got to get some Van Damage in here.
Okay.
I think it'd be great to talk about it, and I want to make sure that if we here's what we should say to people: in 2 weeks we're going to do Hitman, so that way people who haven't seen it can track it down and watch it because there can't be a ton of people who've seen it, and yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, so Hard Target and then Hitman. Grim Jim 666. We did Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
We both love that movie. Mm-hmm. Love that movie. Absolutely. Yeah, we did that on here. Go in the back catalog. We've been doing this show for a while, Sean.
Yeah,
I don't know if we've done 20 or 30 of these. We do them every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific. As long as I'm not traveling to Las Vegas, which I want to do quite often. But absolutely, yeah, Grim Jim. If you want to see our review of that, it's up there. I leave it all up, so it's a lot of fun. But thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, absolutely.
They loved Hitman, so they were
right on.
Lone Wolf McQuaid. Amazon keeps telling me to watch this.
Right
I'm going to add that to the queue too. So Lone Wolf McQuaid. I've never seen it, but I saw a review of it that said it was crazy fun. And there's also one that I can't get a hold of. It's not on Amazon. It's not on Netflix. It's not on YouTube. I bought a DVD on Amazon like 2 months ago, and Amazon keeps telling me it's delayed, and I cancel my order. It's called Invasion USA.
That's another one I watched. I love that one.
And that's like, it was described to me in this review I watched like someone just buried their face in cocaine and made an action movie. Like it's complete insanity. So we'll get to Invasion USA someday, but I have to have the DVD hasn't come in the mail and I can't find it anywhere to watch.
Yeah. And I'm thinking like, unfortunately, it appears to be pan and scan. I'm just kind of curious here. Yeah, it appears to be pan and scan, but just for the people of the chat. Let me see if I can find it here. Hang on a second here.
What are you looking for?
Here we go. I am dropping in this link right here to help people, if it's the correct one, to help people get caught up with Hitman. There appears to be a pan scan cropped down, so it's not in its actual format of the flick. So get it while it's hot.
Okay, it's on YouTube.
So there you go, guys.
Okay,
and then we can talk Hitman in a little bit once people have time to check it out. V for Vendetta. There's another one. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that sounds good.
All right, guys. We got a good
Quato and Quatina, a romance. It's a romance for the ages.
It is a romance for the ages.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And we love Total Recall. I hope we did it some justice here.
Right
if you haven't seen the 1990 Total Recall, go out and see it. I cannot speak for the new one. I'm assuming it's no good. Just guessing. Maybe it's great, but I haven't heard anything good about it. But the original is fantastic. Paul Verhoeven, RoboCop, Starship Troopers, fabulous. And then that's the Paul Verhoeven trilogy, right? Recall, Troopers, and
we've done it.
Did he do anything else famous in the same like action sci-fi genres?
I don't think he did an action sci-fi. Not if I'm not mistaken. The next things he did were like not even remotely related to that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I think that's a show. I had a blast. I love you guys in the chat. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for buying Truth, Justice, American Way, and for checking out Nosfero. I'm so happy Nosfero passed 25,000. Let's keep that going. It is criminally underfunded. Truth, Justice, American Way needs a boost from any of you out there that can get it. So we can get to 70,000 and get that awesome pinup. And I'll keep teasing beef law stuff on here. I love it. So we'll see you guys next Wednesday, okay? Have a great night, everyone. We'll talk to you later.